This is the VW Scirocco. The Scirocco was first introduced to the UK in 1984 and went to 1992, but this is the new Scirocco. And this isn't only any Scirocco, this is the R. This is probably the hottest variant in the lineup. It's got a 2-litre petrol engine and it's got a power output of 261 brake horse. That means it's on a par with the Seat Leon Cupra R and the Golf R. So if you take a look at it, you can see that this is an outright coupe. It's got the rakish roof lines flowing all the way to the back to the roof spoiler, and then it's got the bulging tail lights, which gives it a very mean presence on the road. It's sporty, dynamic, but is it up to the rivals? Let's see. For appeal, we give the VW Scirocco 4.5 stars out of 5. What's the VW like on the practicality front? It's got a sizable boot. There's 312 litres of space in there with the seats up. Although, this lip is quite high, so getting access, getting things in and out, might be a little bit tricky in crowded car parks. What about if we drop the seats? So we move inside. Lowering the rear seats is pretty easy. This expands the boot space to 1006 litres. Pretty much anything will fit in there now. For practicality, we give the VW Scirocco 3.5 stars. So up front, the VW Scirocco R is a nice cabin to spend a lot of time in. You've got your sports seats that hug your sides. You've also got the sporty wheel, leather rimmed, leather gear knob as well. It's got the DSG box, which Volkswagen are world renowned for. You've got your paddles if you want to manually shift. And then of course you've got your media on the centre stack. This can be controlled with the buttons on the steering wheel as well. You've got your nav, your radio, and it also good Bluetooth as well for your phone. And if you have an iPod, nice crafty hiding place for it in here. And it also charges really well. So what is the VW Scirocco like to drive? Well, it really is awesome. As you can hear, wow, that's some engine. It will do 0 to 62 mile an hour in 5.8 seconds. That's 0.4 of a second quicker than the Leon Cupra R. It's got a top speed of 155 mile an hour, and it really is something. You can hear it kick in. 350 newton meters of torque really do this car justice. You can feel that power. Every time you prod the accelerator, thrusts you back in the seat. Really is quite something to drive. It's fantastic. For performance, we give the VW Scirocco 4.5 stars out of 5. We're on comfort setting at the minute. The chassis feels really good. There's 3 modes in this car. You can go back to normal, which is the default setting, and used for everyday motoring. Comfort is usually used in town, and then you can use the sport mode. The ride gets firmer, the steering a little weightier, and the engine is more responsive. You can really feel that torque now, and those 261 horses should propel the Scirocco R up the straight. The front end is really grippy. Turn it in, you get traction almost right away. Nipping in and out of slower traffic as well, child's play. For ride and handling, we give the VW Scirocco 4 stars out of 5. For a coupe, this is a really, really good car. Just feels so sporty. It looks especially good in that Viper green, and it's actually up there with an Audi TT rather than the Leon or the Focus ST or the Golf R. It's so good, you could possibly put it close to the Porsche Cayman, and that's a really bold statement, but this car is mega. The VW Scirocco R averages an impressive claimed 34.9 mpg. Now that's identical to the Seat Leon Cupra R. However, it's no friend to the planet on an eco front. The R emits 187 grams per kilometre of CO2. Insurance is also quite high, it's 34E for this Scirocco R. For ownership, we give the VW Scirocco 3.5 stars out of 5. You may not get 2 in the back, but at the end of the day, it is a coupe, and coupes are really only meant for 2 people really. Overall, The R is the hottest model in the Scirocco lineup. With its rakish lines and its throaty soundtrack, the R is one of the best coupes around. The beefy design gives it more of an impact when on the road. And overall, we give the VW Scirocco 4.5 stars out of 5.